Libra, hello there, my beautiful friends. We're going to do your general tarot reading for early August 2022. Thank you so much for joining me today. You know I appreciate each and every single one of you. So let's get right down to business, as always, and start you off with an oracle card here, just so we could take a little test of the energy and see what's up for the lovely Libras here in early August. My guides, talk to me. I hope you're all doing fantastic, my friends. But what's going on here for the Libra collective? And yeah, we're just going to take a quick look at this first card, then we'll get into the full reading itself. At the very end, I'll pull you a bonus card with the Shadowland Tarot, just to see what might be in the shadows or what shadow work you can lean into. It's always very interesting to me. But let's get this first card out here. What do we got for the Libras? God, so quick, very nice. This is very similar to the Queen of Cups. So we could be looking at those similar archetypes here, whether mother figures, nurturing, loving, caring. Interesting way to start off. She's not a common card to start a reading. Now, before we fully dive into that, if you're new here, I'll be speaking about the August subscriber surprise towards the end. You might want to check that out. Also, if you're active on social media, my handle on all platforms is at Kyle of Cups, so please feel free to hit me up on the platform of your choice. Everything except Facebook. Into the reading we go. Enough of the plugs here. If you look at this beautiful image, to me, it just always screams Queen of Cups. So for some of you, this could just represent a prominent water sign in your life that could show up within this reading. But we think of the motherhood archetype here, the nurturing, the loving, the caring. So whether that's something you're yearning for, maybe that's something you want to give to somebody else. Another big theme we talk about with this is somebody suppressing their emotions, okay? Because there are positives to all the queens, especially the Queen of Cups. But when this card shows up, it does say that somebody might be suppressing how they feel, suppressing their emotions. So in the coming days and weeks, it's very important that you don't do that, right? Because there's only so much everybody can suppress before it comes bubbling up to the surface. Okay, but in general, she's creative, artistic, beautiful, an energy that's full of love. Let's get into tarot. Some of you might just need a big old bear hug. Don't worry, I got you, Libra. Let's get 3 cards out here in the upright, then we'll intuitively clarify. Let's see what's going on for my friends. We did have a couple dicey readings the past couple of weeks, so we're going to hope for a bit of a turnaround. What do we got here, my guides? Talk to me. So, like I was saying, last week's reading was titled Beware of This Person. Now, if you're a longtime viewer of this channel, you know I try my best to keep the titles of the readings as simple as possible. But there was somebody showing up in last week's energy that you really might want to keep an eye on. We'll see what we pick up on this week. Like I say, energy's malleable. It's always moving up and down, so only take it how it hits for you. But there was definitely somebody of note in last week's. Let's get 3 out here. 3 in the upright, please. Nice and quick. And you just fit it for your personal situation. Okay, we do have the 5 of Swords. Not the best way to start. Okay, this could be somebody that's a little bit cutthroat. We're going to keep going, though. It could also be another dicey person. 8 of Swords. I'm not liking all these swords starting us off, Libra. But then again, when we clarify, this could really switch the energy up. But 5 of Swords, 8 of Swords, that's not the best way to start. Let's get 1 more out here. Okay, hopefully there's no self-limiting beliefs. Okay, we do have the 7 of Wands, and you are going to have a bonus. There's a lot of swords here. There's the fire-air combo. As the bonus, we have the 10 of Swords. That's a card of pain. So let's talk about this, Libra, because if you're not going through something, there's somebody you're connected to that is for sure. But we're going to go through one by one. I'll give you some of the classical meanings and archetypes, then we'll get those juicy intuitive messages. So position number 1, the 5 of Swords. Like I said, this could be somebody that's a bit cutthroat. Okay, this could represent individuals that have narcissistic tendencies and personalities. You know, people that are very me. So watch out for any of that in this time. This card can be a big warning about conflict, bumping heads. If it's not a person in particular, it's a bit of a cold energy, right? Now with swords, since there's 3 of the 4 cards being swords, that represents the realm of the mind, communication. Your mind could be a little ramped up in this time, but the 5 of Swords could be a warning about conflict. We'll see when we clarify it. Okay, it could also be someone who's a bit selfish. But moving to the center, we have the 8 of Swords. I think that showed up for you last week as well. Don't quote me on that. Okay, but I'm pretty sure it did. Now, the 8 of Swords could represent somebody who might feel cornered, might feel a little bit trapped, whether they're trapped in their head or trapped in a situation. Same thing with the Seven of Wands on the back end. So some of you might feel very restricted or trapped in a situation here with the Eight of Swords and the Seven of Wands. Like, these are very restrictive types of vibes. So hopefully nobody's over controlling. But when I see this Eight of Swords, it's anxious, it's nervous, it's high strung. So somebody who could be on edge here. Okay. Now the positive of that card is this person can grab one of those swords and break out of those restraints. Very positive. But moving to the back end here, we do have the Seven of Wands. Like all cards, it has that positive negative duality. Now in the positive, this is somebody with tons of determination. They're going to do what they got to do to achieve what they want to achieve, right? If Spirit's throwing that test after test after test, this could be someone that's going to do what they got to do to overcome. So there's a lot of determination here. The negative side of this, like I said, is someone who could feel a little cornered, a little trapped, a little handcuffed by something. So there's an imprisonment vibe here to a certain extent, whether imprisoned within their own mind or elsewhere. Okay. Now, I want to point this out too before we get to the bonus. The elemental mix we got going on is fire and air. And I always say when we mix fire and air, that could be volatile, that can be explosive. So just be forewarned in this time that the energies could be very volatile up and down. Moving to the very back end, we have the Ten of Swords. I'm sure if you watch tarot, you don't need a big introduction to this card. Tens usually represent endings. Ten of Swords is a card of pain. It could be a card of betrayal. So this is a rough and tough type of vibe. Now, as I always say, when a bonus card comes out, it's just another little footnote, okay? This isn't make or break either. But seeing it as an energy accent to the rest of the stuff going on, there's someone you might be connected to that is going through some sort of pain, whether mental, emotional, or physical. I want to dive deeper on all this, Libra, so let's jump in and clarify. Now, let's get a good shuffle here for the Libra collective. See what's going on, my guides. Talk to me. What do we got for the Libras here? And yes, my friends, this is where I go intuitive with the message, which means I just tell you how it feels to me. So feel free to do further research, rely on your base knowledge of tarot, because as you know, every single reading is about the reader's interpretation, and I'm just giving you mine. We're going to go in on this Five of Swords, this possible head bump in conflict. And also, if you read cards yourself, I say it every week, please feel free to play along. That's why this box is here. If you have any messages you want to give to Libra, you could just drop it down below. I don't mind. And once again, this doesn't just have to be your vibe. Let's see what's going on here with this Five of Swords. Chariot. Okay. So maybe it is time for some of you to be a little more selfish. Okay? Everyone knows that, well, I'll put it like this, in my experience, when it comes to Libras, they're very giving individuals. Okay? That's just my personal experience. I've known a lot of lovely Libras over my lifetime. I'm related to a bunch of them. I vibe very well with the Libras. But when I see the Five of Swords with the Chariot, this card of action and movement, yes, we do still have this explosive, volatile energy. But it might be time for you to start watching out for your own well-being, your own interests, okay? There's nothing wrong with doing that from time to time, okay? That doesn't make you a selfish person. But doing what's right for you, it should be of importance right now. That's just how this feels. Like, and I don't know what every single Libra is going through. I don't know if you're going through romance, work, this, that, or the other thing. But there comes a time when there's only so much you could give to others, or so much of the benefit of the doubt you can give to other people. It might be time for you to look out for yourself for once. That's just how this feels to me. Now, for some of you, this could be a warning because the Chariot is also confrontational. It could represent a Cancerian as well. So when I see the Chariot, Five of Swords together, this is people going to battle. So this can be a big warning. Okay, a big warning about confrontation that you might need to watch out for. We'll see how it goes throughout the rest of the reading, especially with the volatile energy. But you might need to watch out for your own personal well-being. Okay, I'll just leave it at that. Okay, only take it if it hits, my friends. Let's go in on this Eight of Swords. I try my best not to over-talk any message, right? So why is this Eight of Swords here? Thank you. Three of Pentacles. Yeah, giving too much of yourself to the collective or the group. Okay, a lot of you might have an issue with that in this time, whether you're giving too much of yourself to family members or too much of yourself to a work situation. The Three of Pentacles is a card of teamwork, right? Teamwork makes the dream work. For another portion of you, this could be issues in regards to work with the Eight of Swords and the Three of Pentacles, right? So whether it's you disliking what you do for a living or disliking a certain person that you have to work in a team with, Okay, I'm picking up a lot of possible headbutting here. Okay, you might be giving too much of yourself to others, and I'm picking that up big time here in the front end, or there's something tied into that. Okay, so if you're not disgruntled with work or somebody at work, this could be Spirit asking you to take some time for yourself. Okay, reflect on what you need, what's important to you. All right, I'm going to keep moving here. I don't want to get too tied up, especially since the energy is similar. But for some of you, this could just represent somebody you have to work with. Okay, that's feeling Eight of Swords, nervous, anxious, on edge. Okay, and that could be affecting the group. We're going to keep moving over. Only take it if it hits. I know this one's coming out way different than Libra readings usually do. But there are multiple warnings here. We're going to see what's up with that Seven of Wands. Then we'll do a recap before we get into the shadow card. Why is Seven of Wands here? Thank you. Yeah, Six of Swords under the Seven of Wands. You just got to keep pushing, keep plucking, right? Keep moving along. This is things turning out for the better in the end for sure. So I'm liking that we're getting a happy ending here. It's another sword though. Okay, so all this air energy, like your mind could be just running a million miles a second. With the fiery stuff going on, there is this explosive, volatile type of energy. So still beware of that, especially with the Seven of Wands, Six of Swords here. We have repeating number signs showing up. There's a lot of swords. But to me, this is something that is going to get better in the end. It might not be an easy struggle. It might not be an easy fight. All right, you might have the odds stacked against you. Some of you, obviously not everyone. But with the Seven of Wands and Six of Swords, it's like, okay, at some point, the ebbs and flows of life will swing in your favor. Okay, something is going to alleviate. A burden is going to alleviate, and things will slowly get better. But you have to keep putting in effort. Okay, you gotta keep moving forward. Don't get caught up in the past. Don't get caught up in the mind. Don't paralyze yourself in any way. You gotta keep pushing. You gotta keep moving. That's what this is telling me, okay? Maybe that's advice you need to give to somebody else, okay? Because like I've been saying since the beginning, this doesn't all have to be your energy. But I do feel like a win in the end, or a payoff in the end here, with this alignment, the Six of Swords, Seven of Wands. Let's go through and do a quick recap before we get the shadow card. Interesting stuff this week, Libra. But like I always say, please only take it how it is for you. In position number one, we have the Five of Swords with the Chariot in the upright. The first message it was making me feel is it might be time for you to watch out for your own interests. There's nothing wrong with that. Like now might be the time for you to like really watch out for yourself. Okay, take your own personal self-interest and put them at the forefront. For another portion of you, this is a warning about possibly button heads or coming into a conflict with somebody. There's big warnings here of energetic explosiveness and volatility. Moving to the center, we have the Eight of Swords with the Three of Pentacles. You might be giving way too much of yourself to a group or a work situation. There could be somebody that you have to work with that is like really in a rough spot mentally with the anxiousness, the nervousness. Some of you might just hate what you do for a living. Obviously not everybody, but this is a little rough one. You might feel trapped there. In the end, we have the Seven of Wands with the Six of Swords in the upright. Things getting better slowly but surely. Like I said, this could be a payoff in the end. It might not be an easy road to walk. It might not be an easy struggle, but if you keep pressing forward, there is good things at the end of the rainbow. So this feels good to me. Just keep forward momentum is very important. Please take a screenshot of that. I'm going to get you one shadow card. Let's see what's going on for Libra, please. What's in the shadows for my Libra friends? Guides and Spirit team. And yeah, I like to end every reading with the shadow card. Okay. It's a nice little cherry on top. So let's see what's in the shadows for you. As with everything else, you already know the deal. Take it how it hits. Thank you. Quick, super quick. Page of Wands. Okay. Let's talk about it because it is more of that fiery energy showing up. Pages are usually very good. For a portion of you, this could be a fire sign that's in the shadows or something linked to children or childhood that might be still affecting you. But Page of Wands is somebody that is putting a lot of energy into something. So when I see this in the shadows, if it's nothing related to a fire sign or a child or childhood, this tells me that Spirit wants you to reanalyze what and who you're putting your energy into. Are you putting it into worthwhile causes? Are you bleeding energy in other areas? That's something you might need to analyze when this shows up in the shadows. Yes, there's a lot of motivation, get up and go, and vigor, but it's also explosive. So Libra, please keep that in mind. That's what I have for you this week. Don't click away just yet, though. I'm going to give the details of the August subscriber surprise. For the August subscriber surprise, I'm giving away 2 copies of the beautiful Tarot of Dreams. It's one of my favorites. So if you'd like to get your name in for this, it's 2 simple things. As always, my friends, first, you must be subscribed, which I'm sure you already are. And second, let me know down in the comments which tarot suit you think is the most positive, whether it's Cups, Pentacles, Swords, Wands. You'll be entered to win, and at the end of the month, I'll announce the winners in my community tab. As usual, my friends, much love to you, and I'll see you next time.